Hey everyone, welcome back to ZomaFarm garden. We have lots of starts going still. They've been going strong. I'm going to take you on a garden tour because it's amazing. We also have some plant starts there. So first I'm going to show you the greenhouse. Got peas coming up, and I know it seems early for peas. So I started them in the greenhouse this year for the first time after I went to a farmer's market last year or the year before, and somebody had peas this time of year. And they said just grow them in the greenhouse. So got some tomato starts as well and cilantro. This is awesome. This tree was dead, as you can see up top. When I moved here 2 years ago, it was in a greenhouse which had fallen apart. So this was a baby plant next to it, and it's come back. It's like a nectarine. Hi, here's Amalia.
Mama,
Yes?
can I go on a chicken?
Yeah, go say hi to the chickens. So I think it's a nectarine or a peach. I'm not sure, but of course putting it in the greenhouse is super healthy for it. It's really warm in here. I had a thermometer, but the kids took it somewhere. So then I also have cucumber growing, and our strawberries are coming, which is awesome. We had some yesterday, and I've got some more tomato starts. Got the strawberries in here hanging, and it's nice because then they're away from the bugs when they're hanging, so that works out really well. So I have some eggplants as well that I started in there, and I'll actually show you just so you can see. So here we have eggplant and cucumber and peas, and then I pop some tomatoes in, and I'll just keep the tomatoes going for sure. So next, probably gonna leave that open, it's hot today. The potatoes are coming along. I think the last video I did was over a month ago, and it's great. There's like ladybugs all over the potatoes, which is good. They're really beneficial. Here we have an artichoke and some onions, broccoli, more potatoes. There's 2 different varieties in here. More broccoli. We've been harvesting this broccoli like crazy. So I cut off the head, and then these are little florets, and they're so good. They're really tender, and I love just eating them right off the bush. And then interplanted with the broccoli are some beans and garlic. Look at the head on this broccoli. It's so beautiful. So that's fantastic. My broccoli keeps falling over because it's so heavy on itself, and I just sort of prop it back up. We also have some these thimbleberries, I think, growing, and we're here in the rock wall. Look at these beautiful poppies. Gorgeous poppies. I'll show you some more of the flowers. So I love growing flowers. This is calendula. These are all calendulas down here, volunteers, because of course you get the pollinators. There was a bumblebee up there. Here I did a row of carrots, and I always grow everything really thickly because, as you can see, some spots just don't take for whatever reason. So I put in probably about 200 carrots here. Spinach, it's starting to seed. And here I have some multiplier onions. I put bok choy in here. It was going to seed. It doesn't matter. I'll collect the seeds for next year. I'm about ready to put in a new thing of lettuce. I have a couple varieties. Chard's coming up. And then behind that is my raspberries. So we got a lot going on here. Then we have yarrow. This will be a beautiful, I think, yellow raspberries. All right, and so let's see what we have going on up top. This is the mint garden. It's got 1, 2, 3 different types of mint in it. I just let it do its thing. Rhubarb, I pulled a bunch because it was crowded. And this is either red fife wheat or winter white, I think. I forget. Anyway, some of the grain spilled on the floor at the foods room, So I scooped it up and planted it and put in some barley as well. And I love growing those just to show how beautiful they are and how our wheat grows. Here's the asparagus. I've had these asparagus for probably 5 or 6 years, so they're really well established. And then you just pick it off or use a knife and cut it off at the bottom. And then these are the asparagus seeds. So you can plant asparagus from seeds, but I plant them from root, and they look like octopus. They have these long tentacles that stick out. I also put some garlic in there. I put garlic and onions everywhere usually. I just harvested all my radish, so now this bed is ready, and it's amazing. The soil is so porous and fluffy and perfect, and this is why it's really nice to plant something really quick and then put another crop in. There's so many nutrients in here. So I'm just going to finish weeding it out and probably put in some lettuce, maybe carrots, because it's actually the perfect soil for carrots. It's loose, it's just deep enough. Probably I'll put carrots in here. And I'll do some companion planting, carrots and something else. Tomatoes and carrots go really nicely together. Here's more raspberries along the row. All right, let's go up through the flower garden, which looks magical. Pretty much all the flowers in this garden are edible. There's just a couple volunteers that got in there. So we have Solomon's seal, which is here. These are edible. They're all done now, but those are lovely. Some lupins are coming up. Poppies, red hot poker. I don't know what this is. It's a wildflower volunteer, but it's incredible. And the bees love it. Here's some double frill poppies that are coming. They're pink, they're gorgeous. So here we go. Take a look. Isn't it beautiful? Got lots of butterflies, and look at these poppies. Oh, they're gorgeous. So I've got some mint here, which nobody puts mint in their garden, but that's actually cement under there. I just put dirt over top of it, so I'm fine to have the mint there. Phlomics or Jerusalem sage, and lilies, daylilies, which are edible. So those are all coming up there. And then I have lots of lemon balm. And this is lamb's ear, which is super soft. Got some crocosmia, lilies, garlic, and this is echinacea down here, and Joe Pye weed. So that's there. And lots and lots of calendula starts and cilantro everywhere. I don't know where the cilantro came from. And this is a hydrangea cutting I took that's doing really well. And so then we have fuchsia. So lots going on there. I've got rosemary, cilantro, lemon thyme, oregano, sage, and chives, and more oregano. I did have some, this is lemongrass, but so far it hasn't done very well anywhere I've put it. That's all right. And so, these are new. I don't know where they came from, but they're beautiful. I love irises. So lots of beneficials in this garden. And then here, dun, da, da, is the potager garden that I mentioned. So, our potager garden. I have some onions growing and ornamentals up top. These smell delicious. So I'm not quite sure, but I think they're valerian. There's honeybees all over them. Look at all these honeybees. One of my neighbors close by has some honeybees, and it smells beautiful. It smells like lilac, this valerian. This is the other tree. As you can see, it was just like completely dead, but this year it's put out some new stalk, so I'll probably cut this down in the fall. Lots of things coming here. So what I did was I planted in a triangular formation just for fun. So we got carrots, bok choy, tomatoes, and multiplier onions. Here we have green leafy lettuce, romaine, spinach, onions, and beets. Here we have broccoli, can't remember. It'll sprout soon, I think. I see something in there, but I can't remember. Kale, cauliflower, and leeks. And then potatoes are all in here, and cucumbers growing up the trellis. So I planted lots of the same thing in different spots so you can see how well some things do in some spots that are established soil. Like this is all new soil, brand new, and there's not much, I wouldn't say that there's no organic matter, it's just that it hasn't been established. Here's more honeybees all over the chives. They're just going bananas on everything, and lots of bumblebees. So I put in some fruit trees as well. They have aphids on them, so I should sprinkle them with something. There are ladybugs and the lavender. And then we have this garden here. It's got some beautiful climbing roses and a clematis. Look at this gorgeous clematis. And so I put a lot of perennials in here, like lupins, dahlias, and echinacea. So they're all sprouting. I just started them in the greenhouse. And this is a ranunculus, or not ranunculus, Rebecca. There we go. So I got some Rebecca there. And this is our amazing secret garden that we built. And I just wanted a cool little spot for the kids, so I had this old clematis, beautiful clematis that grew all over it. Well, I twined it all over. And then I've got beans. So I've got purple beans, yellow beans here, green beans, scarlet runners, and then I put some nasturtium in as well, so that will all climb up, and it just is doing its own thing. I'm not training it, letting it go where it wants to go. It'll cover this whole thing. You can train it, like you can weave it through. I just let it do its own thing, but sometimes I'll just poke it through. But the scarlet runners always get in there first. Now here, slugs are eating this, so I'm gonna sprinkle some cayenne pepper, but I also put the nasturtium because they do have a really peppery smell. So there's my kids chasing the chickens. They're very, very attached to that. And here's my amazing gabion wall I made, and so that was pretty fun to make.